And so we've got Black Panther next month.
Yeah, it's like 2-3 weeks away.
Yeah, something like that.
Should be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's looking mental, to be fair. The whole kinetic energy thing with the suit looks really cool. So I'm looking forward to see how that turns out. And it's going to lead into Infinity War. I mean, we're getting closer.
Yeah.
We're seriously getting close now.
All coming together.
Oh, well, hey to everyone checking in. This is Calamity Hatcher here with That Guy Gseph.
Hey.
And we're just having a little nerd chat, a little podcast here. So thank you for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe, all that. What are we going to start with today? We're going to talk about Gotham.
Yeah.
The illustrious Gotham. Where's it headed? Where do we feel this is going to go? There's a lot of different factors that play into how Gotham is going to turn out.
Yeah.
I thought we'd discuss that a little bit. So how do we feel about David Mazouz as Bruce Wayne and Batman? I mean, you conflict on this.
Yeah, I quite like him as both, but that's just like in my own little way. Like, I think he's like learning how to be both at the same time, whereas like every other Batman, they've been Bruce Wayne for a while.
I get that, I do, and I understand that he's got to come into this character, and that's the whole point of Gotham as a TV show. My issue is it's just not believable for me. like for instance, the episode we got in this season where he goes on to do like the Playboy thing. I'm like, you're 17. Like, how old is he at this point?
I think he's 16, 17.
16, 17. He looks like he's 12, and he's out drinking champagne with all these girls. Like, who are these people?
How does he know them?
Literally, how does he know them? He spends all his time with an old guy. I've got to give props to Alfred. Like, I love the show.
Yeah.
I completely love Gotham, and I don't want that to be misconstrued.
Oh, of course.
I think it's doing so much for the Batman mythos in a kind of refreshing way. It's doing things differently.
It's spinning its own stuff off it.
Definitely, and I think a great example of that is Jerome and the Joker scenario. Now, how do you feel about the Joker scenario?
Well, they keep saying he is the Joker, he's not the Joker, he is the Joker, he's not the Joker, and Jerome, well, the actor, he keeps posting stuff on Twitter and then deleting it and then riling us all up, and then we got the other actors coming out saying that there is going to be a Joker but it's not Jerome, and then some of the others are saying, oh no, it is Jerome.
Yeah, I mean,
what are we supposed to think about it?
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't it be such a ridiculously wasted opportunity if he wasn't the Joker?
Yes, completely.
Like, I know how people put Heath Ledger on this pedestal, and Heath Ledger was incredible, but Heath Ledger, as I've said many times before,
he took the Joker to a new place.
But he personified one part of the Joker, and I feel like various different people have done that over the years, and you've had Jack Nicholson do like the kind of gangster kind of guy, and then you've had Heath Ledger do the anarchist, and then you've had Jared Leto do the psychopath. And I feel like he kind of brings all of it together.
Yeah, no, I get that.
In a way very similar to how Mark Hamill does.
Yeah.
Which I really like, and I just feel it would be a wasted opportunity. And you can tell I'm a fan of the Joker as I sit here with my Joker thermos.
Oh, of course.
God love that tea.
Ledger Joker, of course.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just, I think it would be a wasted effort to not do it. I think he's perfect to take on that role. Yeah. And the teasing thing
regardless of whether it's Joker before Batman, you know what I mean?
Literally.
Like, it doesn't matter.
I kind of like the age they're both at. Like, the scene where he tried to kill Bruce, well, the multiple scenes he's tried to kill Bruce now.
Specifically, I think you're talking about the Mirror House.
Full spoilers.
Yeah.
We should disclose this. Hall of Mirrors.
We'll edit that at the start.
and the one before that, the one where he tried to kill him on stage in public. There's just something between them, a dynamic that does work. I just really wish Bruce could kind of suck it up a bit, and kind of and have to deal with that. But I think something that we do need to talk about if we're going to talk about Gotham is something that you brought up. About how you don't really feel the show is going to keep going.
Yeah, I feel like they've written the current season 4, as a sort of as if they don't know whether it's going to get renewed, and they're trying to tie up stuff as quickly as they can. But I feel like because they're doing that, it's going to get renewed, because it's bringing a renewed interest into the show, having Batman there, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it is a proto Batman, you know.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's doing a lot for the mythos, as I said. But one thing to factor into all this is the Disney Fox acquisition, because Gotham is aired on Fox, and you know you've got Disney sitting there with Marvel. Why would they continue to push something for a rival company?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose in a way, if it brings in the numbers, it brings in the numbers. But I can't see Disney actively pushing a rival property.
Yeah, no, I get that, because even if, for instance, they were to push it, surely they'd be having, like, some royalty money would have to go to DC, wouldn't it? Like,
I guess so.
In like some sense, even if it's just like via, I don't know, some sort of like action figure or something that gets made, or like, you know what I mean? Just the fact that they're using their names or something, you know?
Gotham action figures.
Yeah,
they fly off the shelves, man. Oh my god. People be eating that shit up. It'd just be me and you.
I'd buy them all.
Yeah, literally just me and you. But, I know you'd be first in line to get a Grundy figure.
Yeah.
Whereas I would be the last in line to get a Grundy figure.
I like, it's hard because obviously they're doing their own thing. They're not sticking to any one, like, comic line. They're just sort of, like, taking essences from each origin or like backstory and just sort of like molding it into their own new one. And I really liked Butch as a character, and I think when he was put into the coma, it was just like, that's disappointing. And then they name drop him as Cyrus Gold, and you're like, oh, he's Grundy, how's this gonna happen? Really excited. And yeah, the whole swamp thing, like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, how does a guy in a coma get dropped in a swamp and then suddenly wake up and he's like replaced with like swamp juice, like, instead of blood?
Yeah, but how does a kid get bitten by a radioactive spider and suddenly have those abilities? Like, if we're going to talk on that sense when it comes to superhero material, then we're really missing the point of it all.
I don't really. It's been a while since I've watched through all the Strange stuff, but if Butch was to be made Grundy via Hugo Strange, I wouldn't have liked it, but at the same time I feel like that probably would have been better.
Yeah,
if it would have been a way to bring him back into the series, you know, and have him, I don't know, like, come back and be like, okay, I've perfected my like raising the dead like technique, and then have like one final showdown where he actually gets locked up, you know, and it stops him from making villains again.
I understand that. I think my biggest issue comes from the fact that the budget isn't there for Grundy on a show like Gotham.
Yeah,
and he looks like a bad Halloween costume of like.
He does. He like Lurch.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing.
Yeah, like Lurch from fucking Addams Family
or something.
Like,
it's just a bit. It looks like it's out of an 80s movie.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't think they could have done it in any other way.
Well, no, you can't have this massive hulking mass with tombstones coming out of its back, but that's what I want if I'm getting Grundy.
Yeah,
and this is the first live action thing of really getting Grundy, isn't it? Well, no, I may be wrong. I haven't watched through all the old, like, Batman live action stuff.
I don't think any of the... What, you mean the Adam West stuff?
Adam West stuff, yeah.
I don't think Grundy was around then.
Oh, okay. I struggle with that.
Yeah, like, I think Grundy was a 80s sort of character, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. See, I just struggle with Batman in general, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no.
There's only so much brooding I can take. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
I love Batman. Like, yeah, I love Batman. I think if you like superheroes in any capacity, you have to have a love and respect for Batman, because he's like the top don who doesn't have any powers.
Yeah.
He's the everyman to a lot of people.
It's just strength and intelligence.
Literally. I think it's the same reason I love Spider-Man so much. I mean, I know he has powers, but in that sense, he is the everyman.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I relate to that guy. I was that guy once, and it's just like, let's just do some awesome stuff. We're talking of, highlights of Marvel and DC. We should get on to our next topic, which is the DC Cinematic Universe. Another podcast on YouTube about the DC Cinematic Universe. We are so unique. This channel is going to go very, very far. So let's talk about that one topic that's going to get us loads of hate from the 3 people that watch this in the comments. The Marvel problem.
Yeah. Just trying to shoehorn everything into such a small amount of films isn't good. It's just not. Like, you're sitting there wondering like who this character is or why he's had half an hour screen time when it's been taken away from like the namesake of the film, you know?
I get that. And the thing is, for me, with a lot of this stuff, I'm not trying to sound cocky here, but I know these characters before I go into the film.
Yeah.
I know who they are. So I think I kind of missed that part with a lot of it. Like, when I went to see Suicide Squad, everyone else hated it. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. Purely for the fact I liked the character work. I understand it was a piece of shit movie, but I enjoyed the character work. Like, that was Harley Quinn straight off the comic book page for me.
Yeah.
Besides the whole perverting and romanticising the relationship between her and Joker.
Sorry.
My word. But I do think they are chasing the formula that Marvel have built, and I mean they've really just jumped the gun on it. I mean, alright, you didn't need a Batman origin story necessarily, but going from Man of Steel to Batman vs Superman wasn't, well, it could have gone better, I guess, but it just wasn't the right idea. If you wanted to establish that universe, Marvel took, well, let's think, you've got Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor and Captain America. You know, that's 4 movies. Like, they took that, 5 movies, sorry.
Yeah.
They took that time, and then they went to the Avengers. You knew who those characters were, and they were established, and then you were able to get down to what you need to do in the story. And I feel like they're just trying to play catch up. And I mean, the new president, the guy that got most recently announced as like the head of the studio, came out and said we can't do what Disney does. It's like one of his first statements.
Like, that's the problem though, because like if they would have taken their time doing this, no one would have like cared, because they'd already seen it before.
Literally,
like, with Marvel. So, but it was also a case of, by rushing it, they've kind of shoehorned everything in, and it feels rushed to like the average viewer, you know?
Definitely. And I think one of the biggest issues with that I can see are to do with studio interference and behind the scenes stuff at the studios.
Definitely.
Now,
Warner Bros. Have always had their sort of problems with say over terms in like films, haven't they? So.
Yeah, I mean they got very rich off the Harry Potter franchise, and then
very quickly,
very, very quickly, and then the Dark Knight series did them very well, and they've really trying to beat that Marvel thing for some time now.
Yeah.
But there's just so much switching around of what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, you've got this new president, and he's done a lot of horror films, from what I can gather.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name for the life of me. But then it was Jeff Johns before who was stepping up to the main plate. But then before that, he was brought as a consultant, and they've just changed things around so much. And then
like swapping roles and like being replaced, and
literally. And I think something that people don't realise is with every studio has a certain amount of films they're allowed to put out each year. Marvel Studios movies do not count as Disney movies. Yeah. Because they are their own independent studio, they can release whatever it is, 20 films a year if they want to as a studio. Yeah. Therefore, there's not as much pressure from the higher ups to kind of make that money. Whereas with Warner Brothers, it's like, no, this is one of our, these
many like franchises or films that we're doing.
Yeah, like,
so we've only got like 4 or 5 slots per year maximum.
Exactly.
To do films,
and they want to make their money out of it. I mean, apparently Justice League was pushed forward because the Warner Brothers execs wanted to get it out and get their bonuses clocked before the fiscal year or something like that.
Yeah, that won't surprise me.
And that's just, I just think it says volumes about what's going on over there.
They'd rather make the money on the fiscal year than actually like do a good service to like the fans or like the viewers, Literally.
I think one of the things that really kind of is a middle finger up to fans is announcing all these movies that are never going to come out.
Yeah. Have you got any names of films?
Oh, okay, right. Off the top of my head, The Batman, Cyborg, Gotham City Sirens, Suicide Squad 2, Joker and Harley Quinn, Batgirl,
God, 6 already.
Black Adam. I don't think is that like I know they're moving forward with Shazam.
Tied to that?
He's still tied to it. They're moving forward with Shazam, but they've cast someone as Shazam. But I don't know. I really don't know if it's ever going to happen. Man of Steel 2. I'm probably missing a load. Green Lantern.
There's probably about 4 other Batman films they talked about doing.
Trust me, I think they wanted to do a trilogy.
All in a different style, most likely. Different actors playing Batman.
Justice League Dark. I mean, I think Wonder Woman 2 will come out because Wonder Woman was so well received. Yeah.
I mean, I only saw like at most 4/5 of that film. I think I missed a little chunk towards the end because I had to leave early. But I really liked it. It was really quite an enjoyable film.
It was good. I feel it's overrated slightly.
It is, but it was because I think there was a Wonder Woman film released in the 70s.
Yeah, Linda Carter.
Was it?
Linda Carter was the original Wonder Woman.
I'm not going to pretend to know, but I haven't seen it. But this is like the first mainstream because I believe that one was poorly received, wasn't pushed well. But it's the first mainstream time we've seen Wonder Woman, and I feel like it was a very well done film, considering the state that DC is actually in at the moment.
I would definitely say it's the best of the slate so far.
Yeah.
It's just the blatant... I don't know, did you not watch it thinking, this is Captain America?
A little bit, yeah.
Running around in a World War era with a shield.
Yeah.
I understand that is the character, and I understand there are those similarities, and I understand that Cap may not have even been first. But I don't actually know, to be fair. But
I think Cap was first. I believe,
okay.
Just.
But yeah, it was just a bit. Well, I guess that's just what happens when you go through watching it. You kind of go through these paces. It's not necessarily a reflection of the film, but the last third was a CGI. Fight in the sky kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as none of these other films are coming out. Well, I would be very surprised if they do. But then we have to kind of look at, what's the solution for DC? How do they fix this?
How do they fix this? Wow, I don't think there is an easy fix. They have to stop chopping and changing people around. Stick with some ideas that they've got instead of coming up with something and then going, "This is a good idea, but we don't like this part. Rewrite the first half of the film." You know what I mean? So it feels disjointed, or you feel like you've smashed 2 films into one. So they'd have to actually. Well, to be honest, I'm surprised that they must have started off doing it in the same way as Marvel, but then just the studio interference messed everything up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the things that definitely needs to happen, and it would really, really help them sort their ship out, would be for Warner Brothers to give Jeff Johns a big pile of money and say, go and start DC Studios. You're a subsidiary of us, but you are your own studio. You can produce however many films you want in a year.
Yeah.
And then
here's all the comics to look at and get any source from you want, merge stuff up, come up with your own franchise.
But that's the great thing. Jeff Johns has written some of the best DC stuff around, particularly in terms of Green Lantern.
I have absolute faith that he would completely and utterly turn around the DC
Literally,
universe.
he can be that Feige. He can really come in and do that.
Yeah, he really could.
And I feel that's just what they need. They just need that all set up. And then don't have this studio interference, because then at that point they're not sitting there thinking, okay, these superhero movies make up a quarter of the movies we're releasing this year. We have to make sure they're like this and that, because these executives do not understand what the heart and soul of these comics is and what the fans want.
Yeah.
And I can tell that DC are trying. You can see the directors trying.
Yeah,
for everything people say about Batman vs Superman, there is some incredible fan service shots in there.
Oh yeah.
Literally ripped from the comic book page.
And I was in the cinema watching and was just the classic. Turning to my friends, you know what I mean? Just shaking them and being oh.
My favourite one. My favourite one is where he shoots the grenade at Superman, and he catches it and it explodes.
Just like the arrow.
Literally just like the arrow. I was like, oh my god, that's incredible.
Absolutely perfect.
But yeah, so that's how we feel DC should kind of figure things out and what's going on over there. So now let's look at our most anticipated film of 2018. I mean, there's a few films coming out, so let's just take a look at this list quickly. Okay, so most anticipated film of 2018. First on the list is Black Panther.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this one?
I'm excited because he's a very interesting character. I don't know a lot about him, really. He's intrigued me quite a lot, just like his attitude, persona, how he handles himself in both like Black Panther and as like King of Wakanda. Oh, however you fucking pronounce it, you know.
Oh, that's made my night. Wakanda. Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I know bits and pieces about Black Panther. I know from his like core Avengers days and onwards, and I really like his interaction with Namor in the comics. I think it's amazing. So I'm really hoping they're going to play up to that at some point in the MCU. But it looks like they're doing some incredible things with this movie. He was incredible in Civil War, and definitely. We're going to get a whole movie of that. Yeah, of it just focused on him and his unique fighting style, and I think they're really going to go into the spiritual side of things with the spirit of the Panther and stuff. Chadwick Boseman is great as T'Challa. Michael B. Jordan looks to be quite good as the villain. Eric Killmonger, and you've got Andy Serkis's Ulysses Claw returning. So yeah, I think it's shaping up to be a pretty good one. I think we're only a couple of weeks away, so yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks,
something like that. Yeah, and then there's the biggest one, but we're doing this kind of in chronological order of them coming out, so you have to forgive us on that one. But the big one,
sort of,
Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't
it? It is the big one. 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
It's going to be... Like, I feel like if we have a discussion about this, like, there's no way of really putting it into words what this film
you actually probably
means.
Can't.
Like, this film symbolises something
it's tying in,
greater.
Like, what, about 6 or 7 different film... like universes,
literally,
like together, you know what I mean?
Like, okay, I'm gonna put it this way, because no doubt there are going to be people that watch this purely because they know us and maybe are not as comic literate as we are.
Yeah,
they have been building for this from when was the Avengers? 2012.
I think so. That sounds about right.
They've been building towards this since 2012. Well, no, they've been building towards this since the beginning, but in 2012, at the end of Avengers, we got our first look at Thanos. Yep. And Thanos is like the Darth Vader of the Marvel Universe. He is just that level big bad guy. And throughout all these films, we've seen the little glimpses of him. We've seen the Infinity Stones, which, when drawn together and put in the Infinity Gauntlet, can just decimate space, time and reality, and it's an absolute madness, and we've seen them all pop up, and it's all leading to him coming and getting these stones.
Yep.
From what we've seen, I mean, my god.
Yeah, we're in for a treat. There's going to be a lot of action, a lot of like planning, a lot of deaths, a lot of like new people coming in, a lot of familiar faces. It's going to be some great teamwork, man. Like, I can't wait for like some of the crazy teamwork that they're going to get out of this.
Literally, the team ups are going to be mental.
It's going to be Civil War's like airport scene, but like times 10.
Literally,
like easily.
It's just going to be mental. I mean, the war for Wakanda, just oh my god, everything about this is like a nerd's dream come true.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I mean, it's not even out yet, and I'm getting this gassed over it. It's not even out. We're still a fair few months off.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: if you had gone back, so when did the Spider-Man deal get announced? I was.
Hang on. When was Civil War?
Civil War was 2016, yeah, and it was before
2015, wasn't it?
Was it 2015?
I think the Spider-Man deal was announced.
Yeah, 2015, we'll say. So before then, did you ever think...
Could have been late 2014. But.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do it on the basis of 2015. Did you think that from that point, where there was no announcement of Spider-Man going... It didn't look like he was going to be anywhere near this franchise.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd be seeing the Iron Spider in 3 years?
Honestly, a part of me was like, it's going to happen. Because fucking... It's Disney behind Marvel, you know what I mean? They have that money to just be like, here, take it, another million, you know what I mean?
I suppose. I mean, I'm such a pessimist. I didn't believe it.
I was still under the assumption that Sony would be so adamant that they'd have to have complete control over his image for like film, game, TV, you know what I mean? Like they really want input and like at least credit, like, you know what I mean?
I think they realised after Amazing Spider-Man 2 that they just they didn't have a grip on things.
Yeah, they was trying to do what Marvel had done and DC is already doing as well.
Yeah,
they was just trying to spin a third one, and it's like, no.
Well, don't forget we're still getting Venom and Silver and Black.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Silver and Black is being made. I'd
love Venom to be in the
Avengers.
Yeah.
Well, an enemy of the Avengers.
Yeah,
depending on which.
You know what I mean. Just in the universe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to this as a topic at some point for another podcast. We're gonna have to talk Spider-Verse kind of stuff.
Yeah, we will.
But Deadpool 2,
really exciting. I loved the teaser that we got. I think was it last year with the Superman.
Oh
style
yeah,
one. I loved that. I actually loved
the one
that.
attached to Logan.
Yeah, that was like one of the funniest trailers I think I've ever watched. In terms of it should not have been funny. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, this is the thing. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the original Deadpool.
I get that.
And that is because before I get, like, shot down in hatred, I think Ryan Reynolds is incredible as Deadpool. I think he is Deadpool.
He's the driving force behind it, I think.
Definitely, yeah. But I think the issue for me was there wasn't actually enough Deadpool. It was more kind of the Wade kind of stuff.
I understand that.
In a Deadpool movie, I wanted more Deadpool, to be honest with you. Popping out, breaking the fourth wall, causing carnage.
I understand that. I feel like it would have been a disservice to just have him as Deadpool and then have like a backstory. You know what I mean?
I guess. I like the way they kind of did it, I guess.
Yeah.
There was just something up with the pacing for me as well, really.
No, I get that. It did feel a bit chop and changey.
But you got Thanos coming back for this as Cable. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Deadpool 2. Looking forward to that one. Next we have A Star Wars Story, Solo.
Oh.
This film is going to suck.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the problems going on behind the scenes this movie? Right. So they've had like several directors leave the project.
Oh god.
And
not a good
there
start.
have been reports coming out that some directors left the project because the guy who's playing Han Solo simply cannot act. And they've had an acting coach on set at all times on all scenes with him.
Is it because the guy is just because he looks like him? Is that why he was chosen?
I guess.
He looks like he could be a young Solo.
I guess, yeah.
In the same way that McGregor was like, oh, if he had a beard, like how they thought, you know, back in day, like, oh, if he in the next film with a beard.
McGregor wasn't the worst choice. I'd enjoy that.
He was a perfect. He did great service for Sir Alec McGuinness.
Shame Lucas didn't.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. It's just Han Solo is one of those characters that are beloved in the fandoms, and it's like, why do we want this?
It's that exact reason why we shouldn't be getting a spin-off about his early years.
Exactly. Give me a Boba Fett one. We don't know that much about the character.
I would love
much
a
prefer
Boba Fett film where you have just like a couple of instances of Han Solo, but you're not seeing it from his point of view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
So it's a nod. Like you don't even.
So
have
you
to
have that
Harrison
rivalry
Ford.
during their smuggler days.
You don't even have to have Harrison Ford as him. You can just have the obvious outfit on a guy that's next to Chewie.
Put Harrison Ford in. You know? It's Disney money. They can do the Robert Downey Jr. thing in Civil War and just de-age him for a scene or two.
Yeah, the same that they did for Jeff Bridges in the god-awful Tron Legacy. But the soundtrack for that, my god.
Yeah, that was the soundtrack Daft Punk. I mean, I think the big... oh, I'm dying. I think the biggest thing for this movie is just that it's not necessary. No one cares enough
honestly,
about his bats. He's not. That's not what
I
you
would
wanted
have
for.
quite liked if they would have gone the route of having Han Solo as an old man setting up events before before Episode 7.
Yeah, that would
The
be
name
quite
eludes
cool.
me now for some reason.
But still
Force
unnecessary.
Awakens.
And I know people say that about Rogue One. I don't think you've seen Rogue One, have you?
Yes, I have.
You have seen Rogue One?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now, I actually really enjoyed Rogue One. Because I actually liked that it was just kind of a Battlefields kind of film
I agree.
centered away from the whole Skywalker thing and all of that. It was just its own kind of... almost like a war movie. I know there are war
expanding
movies,
the universe, but like in a different way. It didn't feel like a Star Wars film, and that's what made it.
But also did in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it didn't in the sense of like you didn't get the lightsaber battles, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But like it still.
Wait till you see AG.
It still had the whole like the universe feel that like the original trilogy had, that the prequels had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it flushed things out, but again, it wasn't necessary. So neither is Solo. Let's just ditch this project.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One.
Now it's like I'm on the fence about this because I've seen quite a few of the trailers. I can't remember how many there's been. It's about 3 or something, isn't there?
Something like 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah. I think there was an international one that I watched that was slightly different, but
oh, I love the international.
It's interesting because it's a great concept for a film. You informed me a bit earlier that it's actually a book as well. I didn't know that.
I haven't read the book.
I'm actually going to have to look that up. I might add that to my watch
I'm not
list.
sure if it's by the same name though.
It's still, you know
But
what I
you'll
mean?
be able to
Yeah, I'll be able to find it.
We should find this
But,
out. We'll give it a podcast, but oh well.
But I don't know. I feel like it could either be a really good film that like has a lot of popular references to games and characters and settings and situations. You know what I mean?
Like I've seen Tracer from Overwatch. I've seen Harley and the Joker.
I've seen like the DeLorean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of.
It's really cool,
there.
but at the same time, I feel like unless they expand on the outside world, like not inside, like sitting in a chair and having that video game, like you know what I mean. If they don't expand on the real world, then I feel like it's just going to feel like a shoehorn for like I don't know, just in general gaming. Like an advert, you know what I mean? Just like
that.
shoehorn an advert into a film and just like fucking reference everything everywhere. So it just makes everyone think, oh, I want to get that game again.
I mean, I'll see it. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna see it in the cinema. I may have to be honest. If I'm going to do a review on it, I may have to. But it does look interesting to me, and it's something I do want to watch. But I'm not going to go into it
with massively high hopes.
Yeah, I mean, everyone praises Steven Spielberg, but people need to remember that Steven Spielberg has put some bullshit films out there.
He's done some like wonderful things, but you've got to remember that when he's done these amazing films, he's had amazing casts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like proper actors.
Very true. Very true.
You never know how it could turn out.
Jurassic World 2.
See, I'm sort of, I'm semi-interested in this. It's hard because the first film I was really conflicted about because on the first viewing I quite liked it, but there was something that I pointed out and like to myself. And when you find out that there's raptor DNA, you're just like, well, that was exactly what I thought when it was first introduced, and they wouldn't allow us to know what else was in it.
Yeah.
Because raptors are the constant from like all the films, you know what I mean? So when they're saying, oh, there's a part of it that's like, we can't tell you what it is, it was just a bit obvious. But on the second view, it really annoyed me. But I did enjoy the first viewing quite a lot. I don't know if they need to continue like right away with what they're doing, but hopefully they'll do something interesting. It'll be a whole case of like there's more, like say for instance there's a couple of islands where they've got that new one, because it's I believe I saw a map that was like of all the islands from the books. I think that's how they based most of it in the films. There's all these like islands, and like certain ones are like different films essentially, and like I think I would like it if they did a thing of dinosaurs escaping to all of those islands, and then after that, they're trying to reach mainland, and it's like a way. It's a way to like, how do we stop them, but without like destroying the creations that we've made? You know what I mean? Like fully nuking everything.
That's the thing. I think right there, you've put more thought into it than the studio probably has.
Yeah. I feel like
it's just a cash grab now.
Yeah, they're just going to do the generic, like, reminiscent scenes from the first, like, 2 or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just have, like, oh, this looks really familiar, oh, yeah, I'm enjoying this. But
I mean, that was it.
There's no subtext to the film, you
exactly.
know what I mean?
I mean, the first film definitely rode a massive wave of nostalgia. Biggest opening weekend ever, I think.
Yeah.
But I wanted... When I heard there was a new Jurassic Park film coming out, of Jurassic World as it's called, I wanted to see a lot of...
It will always be Jurassic
Park.
Yeah,
exactly. But I wanted to see dinosaurs. And I saw dinosaurs. But I saw more of a forced romance between Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
I feel like that did not need to be in the film.
Just why?
They could have just planted the seeds...
Literally,
the film, and
that's
then
all you needed.
Then in the second one, that's when their relationship blossoms.
Literally, like
have it as them being like really like good friends at the end of the first one, like to the point where they've been flirting but nothing's come about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in the second one, feels natural.
I get that. Yeah.
You know
that they kind of just
jumped the gun.
They jumped the gun on that. They had that child from Iron Man 3, and that just made me dislike it because Iron Man 3. Wasn't a fan. I mean, I will check it out because I feel I should. But yeah, I it's definitely not mine. It's definitely
the
not mine.
Nostalgia wave from the 90s was going to make me probably see it. Maybe not in the cinema. I'll probably watch it on TV.
Yeah, I'll wait for it to come out, I think, on release.
But I probably will watch it eventually.
Fair play. Probably me too. Incredibles 2.
Oh, when was the first one out? 2004?
Something like that.
I think it was finished in 2004, but it started in like 2001 or 2 or something like that. I think original ideas and everything. But yeah, it's 14 years in the making.
Yep. The sequel to the best Fantastic Four movie
honestly,
ever made.
I don't know how they're gonna continue it, but I would honestly love it if they just did like the Rise of the Underminers game. They just start it off like that, and then just like finish it up real quick, and then just spin it into new stuff. You know what I mean?
I read some character descriptions the other day that were official releases from Disney, and so the idea is that there's a new kind of campaign to bring superheroes into the limelight again, because there was that whole thing of them being pushed out of the thing.
Yeah, the whole Civil War type thing.
And Elastigirl is like their flagship kind of superhero to get them through it. And Bob is having to adjust to being the man of the house, doing the cooking, the cleaning, looking after the kids, and dealing with Jack growing up in his new superpowers.
I imagine he's still going to be quite a baby/toddler.
Yeah, I don't think it's that soon after. That late after.
They're not going to age drastically like the kids.
Nah,
maybe a year or so.
But they're kind of all crime fighting again, and the whole family's out doing it despite protests and all that kind of shit. Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be a nice nostalgia blast. They're going to broaden the franchise. I really like the cast as well.
It's like with Monsters University. Now, people didn't seem to respond to that as well.
I understand that. I actually quite liked it. It was like a nice nod to the past. It was like they didn't like. I think the reason they made a prequel was because they didn't want it to spin off more films.
Yeah, I think...
they was just like, we've made this film before, people love it. It would be nice to give everyone the nostalgia feel like we're doing with Toy Story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And one thing that I actually enjoyed about that was, one of the things I actually wanted to know as a kid from watching it is why Randall and Sully actually hated each other so much.
Yeah.
And you kind of got that from Monsters University. It makes sense.
Nicer if it was like a more serious rivalry between them.
Yeah,
what I mean? So
but the way it worked out was quite good. But yeah, I think The Incredibles is one of those films that I really resonated with me as a kid.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love that movie. I watched it to death, to the point where I think I would still have an issue watching it now. Because I've seen it that many times. You just
know all the lines, all the scenes, know exactly all the little Easter eggs you're looking out for, you know what I mean?
The PS2 game, man, I abused that game, particularly the Violet and Dash level. I would just play that non-stop, burnt the disc out probably. So I'm really excited to see where it goes, and they've got Brad Bird back on, who did the first one. All of the original voice cast are back. I think it's going to be solid. I have faith in Pixar, and I know that there have been a few missteps in more recent times with Cars 2 and 3 and what was that one that came out? The Good Dinosaur, was it?
I actually quite like that.
I haven't actually seen it, but I haven't heard
recommend it.
great things.
Don't have major high hopes for it, but it's a nice little feel-good film, really.
Then you have Moana, which was really good.
Yeah.
That was really well received. But that's what I mean, they've just been so hit and miss. But then, as a studio, Pixar do tend to produce quality movies.
Yeah, they always have, really.
So I can't be upset with that.
Shorts. Even all the shorts they do, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Incredibles 2, I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm not going to say it's going to be my top, but I'm quite looking forward to it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Marvel's third film of 2018. Set to be a romantic comedy.
See, that I don't know how I feel about that. I really like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, though, so, whatever they do, there's always going to be that comedy element to it anyway. I feel, so.
I think Adam McKay's back. I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100%.
Okay.
To be fair...
He was the one that did Anchorman and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That'll be nice. They got a good working relationship.
To be fair, I mean, Marvel is clearly trying to branch out into different subgenres within its genres at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's all in the superhero genre, but, like, you look at The Winter Soldier, it's a political thriller. You look at Thor Ragnarok, and it is kind of like a buddy cop movie in space, and they do kind of put all these different elements into trying to make a different genre kind of films.
Yeah.
And a romantic comedy with Paul Rudd, like, sign me up, man. I'm cool with that.
I get that.
Romantic comedies are his thing.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's just, I don't know, it's just I feel like in a superhero film, it's sort of subplot, you know what I mean? Instead of main plot, but
I get that, and you don't want a Tobey Maguire Kirsten Dunst
but to be
situation.
fair though, we actually don't really, I certainly don't really know a lot about what's going to happen in that film. So
apparently it's going to be going into the multiverse.
Okay.
Like, so that for me excites me. That's going to open up a hell of a lot of possibilities.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be solid. Yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a good one.
Yeah.
Moving on to multiverse related things, or is it? Venom. Sony Pictures. The Spider-Man spin-off that hasn't got Spider-Man in it, or has it?
Is it a spin-off? You know what I mean?
Because apparently now Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been seen on set, but then apparently it's only Peter Parker that's going to be appearing in the movie.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't see
even if
point.
It's not connected, broader universe.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the original report said that it wasn't going to be like just a cameo. It was going to have a role in it, which I feel you need to do. Everyone's been saying this. Everyone, if Sony is listening to people, they must have heard everyone and their mum say they do not want a Venom movie without any connection to Spider-Man. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's no reason to have Venom if you don't have Spider-Man.
Literally. But now there's a lot of talk about this being the secret MCU movie.
Okay.
I
could. I'm on board with that if that's the case. You know
yeah, I mean, I'm down for that.
I'd love him to be a part of the universe.
I mean, all we've seen so far is the still of Tom Hardy looking like he's a reporter, but then the picture he's uploaded, he kind of looks like he was in the military because it almost looks like the Agent Venom gear. And then the promotional poster we've seen has the proper Venom mask on it, and then there was some leaks from a CG company that were obviously working on the film that had done this like design for the Venom head. And yeah, it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah, like, you can't really fault him as an actor.
Exactly, and you know very well that I'm a huge Spider-Man nerd.
Yeah.
I love my Spider-Man.
Of course.
And Venom is one of my all-time favourite characters. But I then have to not give myself hype for the sense that it is a Sony Pictures movie.
Yeah.
You know, a company that literally a week ago the head of the company came out and said, oh yeah, we're probably going to sell in like the next 3 years. So they have no confidence in themselves at all. The guys that brought you Ghostbusters and Pixels.
Yeah, films that just don't need to be made, you know, which worries you about
them. And making
you know?
Silver and Black.
God.
Thank God Paramount bought the Sonic the Hedgehog rights. I'm telling you now, I think I'd rather have a Transformers Sonic the Hedgehog movie than a Smurfs Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, Jesus Christ. But, you know, I sit in this very weird place with Venom where I want it to be a great movie, and I'm going to go see it release day. I'm going to be hyped for this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let myself get too hyped.
Yeah.
Because it's likely to all come crashing down.
Yeah, I mean, think about Venom from the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire universe. It was done.
I'd rather not.
It was done poorly, you know what I mean? And if they don't execute it well, I feel like this could be the death of the character for a while, which is disappointing because he's a good character.
Yeah, and considering they're bringing Carnage into this,
yeah, you kind of need Venom for that.
Apparently, Woody Harrelson.
I could see that I could see him playing a good what was it,
Cletus
Cassidy, my bad.
Yeah. If this goes above a PG-13 rating.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, the brutality of Carnage, of please. I hope that's what they're going for.
Him and Deadpool are just in the same film. Imagine that.
Oh God, yeah. All is coming together now.
Exactly. It's all
meshing together. But talking of that universe, X-Men Dark Phoenix is coming out. Did you know that?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I heard stuff, but I didn't know it was actually a thing. But
yeah.
What's obviously it's Phoenix.
Sophie Turner
is
from
it
Game
still
of Thrones.
Technically Fox, or is it?
It's Fox. It's a Fox Studios production.
Is Marvel still linking it?
No, because the deal won't go through for another 12 months now.
Okay, so this is the last probably of the.
Well, no, they just announced movies for just in case this deal doesn't go through. They got something to fall back on, so they announced the Kitty Pryde movie.
So basically, they've got this film and then a load of backups, and then if Marvel buy it when it goes through, that's probably all going to be scrapped. Or
except Deadpool. I think Deadpool will be kept.
Yeah,
and
or they're going to spin it into the.
I don't think they will, because honestly, this series is not resonating with people. It did with First Class and it did with Days of Future Past, but Apocalypse was bloody awful, man.
Yeah, it really was.
Put
a downer on the whole X-Men
and
franchise, really.
You know what I'm like with these movies. When these movies come out, I watch them religiously to death. I comb through it and I find something to enjoy in all of these movies, and there's just nothing in that.
It's funny, isn't it? Because what's it? The fucking previous film,
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, and Apocalypse and all that. Apocalypse was such a bad, just badly put together film. It's annoying. It's weird how it makes you forget about Weapon X Deadpool.
Yeah,
with the you know what I mean. You forget about that because it's that bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that outfit was god awful. But do you know? It's just I don't feel anyone wants this, and I feel like it's almost like they're being made purely just to milk the superhero genre craze while it still continues, and to milk Jennifer Lawrence as an actress, who, to be honest, really doesn't do a lot for me in these movies. I mean, Fassbender and how am I forgetting his name?
Oh,
McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy.
They're fantastic, but that was part of the thing in Apocalypse. They really weren't in it. There wasn't a lot to it. I mean, they're going over the Phoenix stuff again. There's scrolls in it. Yeah, it's a thing.
Whether it leads to anything, though, you never know.
Fiddy. Do you know what? It's there. It's coming out, and soon it will be an old franchise, and it won't be continuity anymore. And that's the way to look forward to it, really. So let's get on that while we can.
See if they can wrap some stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I'm a little bit excited for this. Not as much as I thought I would be, but I'm interested to see what kind of characters they get the rights to for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's a solid picture, and it has a very special place in my heart because Sonic's in it.
I would love it if they had a few, like, for instance, Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation characters. It would be really nice if they had some of that.
I'd like to see them mix maybe some of the newer ones into the older ones.
Yeah.
So like, I love an interaction between like Kratos and Shadow the Hedgehog having a who's edgier contest or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just something off the cuff like that. And again, I'm excited because it's going to be. I'm 99% sure Sonic will be on the big screen again, which is always nice for me. As a fan.
Quick question about it. Where do you think the story would go, Wreck-It Ralph 2?
I think it's to do with the internet.
Okay, yeah.
It's him getting onto the internet.
It was like breaks in there, but but what do you think that could lead to? You know what I mean? Like,
God knows. I'd love it to be a sort of situation where Ralph enters an MMO, an MMORPG, and actually has to live out his days.
Yeah.
Like fully leveling up and becoming new characters, start stacking different sets of armor and stuff like that. Like put him in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Please.
Or like Skyrim or something.
Literally Fallout Ralph.
God. GTA or something would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, there's no way Disney are about to release a GTA themed game.
That.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm excited for it. It's one that kind of slipped under my radar, but I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm skeptical of everything nowadays.
As long as they keep like the good voice actors previously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John C. Reilly's back.
Yeah,
and that's always a delight. I love John C. Reilly. So yeah, looking forward to that. This is a big one for me, but again, keeps slipping under my radar. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Animated by Sony.
Okay.
Animated movie. Focusing on Miles Morales, who is a fantastic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And going into the Spider-Verse. Now, I am a huge fan of the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I love that comic. Combining many different Spider-Men from all the different corners of the multiverse, and this family called the Inheritors that is comprised of this guy called Morlan and his family, who were in Amazing Spider-Man. I think it was one of Dan Slott's runs.
Yeah.
He's like basically an evil Superman. They feed on the energy of totems, and it's the idea that people who are like Spider-Men throughout the multiverse are spider totems, and they feed on the spider totems. And all they go out with their family to kill all of them, and the Spider-Men basically have to form their own army.
Okay, so it's like an army of every incarnation of Spider-Man, pretty much. That's still around.
Yeah, they kill a lot of them.
Yeah,
like you see, like Civil War one.
Yeah, everyone
shit.
is like still around.
Literally, yeah, and it introduces one of my favorite Spider-Men. I think my second favorite Spider-Person, Spider-Gwen.
Yeah,
who is fucking amazing. I think she'll appear in this. I think she's going to be in this because her and Miles are like together now.
Oh, fair.
It's really cute. But then I'm like, my boy Peter, what happened? you just got her back and you lost her, bro. What are you doing? But I'm very excited for it. Even like, it's going to be kind of kid centric.
Oh yeah,
it's animated.
Yeah,
but in a way, that's a platform in which Spider-Man works.
Yeah,
because that comedic side can really come through. But I have faith in it. Again, Sony, but I have faith.
Yeah. You have faith in the character and the people behind the character.
Yeah, definitely.
Pushing for the right stuff.
Yeah, no. Definitely looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good one. And then Warner Brothers have got Aquaman.
Now this is a film that could be a bit like make or breaky. To an extent.
How many times are we going to say that about the next entry in the DCU?
Yeah, but like the thing is with Aquaman, he's
Batman vs Superman's going to make it or break it. Will it bomb?
We've never really seen a proper like live action Aquaman that's been like not campy. You know what I mean? So
see, you've not seen Justice League yet.
Yeah.
In Justice League, he is the dude.
Okay, like the surfer dude.
Sup, bro?
That's annoying.
That's Aquaman.
That's annoying. Now, already. I like his look and his character.
Yeah, he's got a swag to him. He's got a bit of a fieriness to him. He was an enjoyable part of the film, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking forward to it. And there was one thing in Justice League where when they spoke underwater, they had to create like an air bubble around them. And the director, James Wan, has come out and said that is not happening in my movie. So it'd be very interesting to see how they actually do the like dialogue and stuff underwater. Again, it's just gonna be interesting because it's something that we've never seen before, really.
Yeah.
Not that I really have any faith in the DCU at this point, but they know that they've got my money no matter what.
Yeah, who knows, man? You never know. In like a few years' time, they could really turn it around and really like rival Marvel in terms of like storylines and characters, and you know what I mean.
I'd like to think so. I mean, I have much more love for Marvel. Not much more love. I say that it's not much more love, but there are a lot more characters in Marvel and storylines that I'm like wow about.
Marvel has more variety in terms of characters and powers and like storylines. But I feel like most of the things in DC, they're all shoehorned into like one.
Yeah, but I have love for a lot of these characters from DC comics and various other things. Like I love Green Lantern comics. I love the Flash comics. I love the Flash TV show. I watched Arrow up until I stopped halfway through last season because I was getting fed up with it. Legends I love.
Was it Arrow that you picked the worst episode to introduce me to?
No, it was the Flash because it was a musical episode. Oh, that was a social experiment gone horribly wrong. We should
do a podcast on that episode. At some
point. We will do. I'm going to show you a normal one at some point as well. I think I did. I think I did at a later date. I think I showed you the Killer Frost episode. Yeah, so looking forward to it. It should be good. And the last one is a special pick that you put on there that is a bit of a troubled film.
Yeah.
But it's shaping up with a fantastic cast.
Yeah. Rami Malek behind it. I reckon he could pull off a pretty good Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Brian May and I think it's Roger Taylor are still like driving forces behind it. They have a lot of say over like what gets done and what doesn't get done.
Okay.
How his life is portrayed, like on stage versus off stage.
Now, wasn't Bryan Singer on this?
I think at one point, but I don't know if he still is.
I mean, that's probably a good thing for the movie because Bryan Singer is responsible for a lot of X-Men. He's responsible for some good X-Men, but he's not responsible for a lot of good X-Men. And he was like, did he consult on Fan Forsic?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think he might have done, or it was either him or Simon Kinberg. Those guys that have run the X-Men stuff into the ground. But yeah, I mean, I think a biopic on Freddie Mercury is very kind of. I think we had this conversation before actually, where I was like, I want to see a kind of story about. I want the glimpses of Queen and the flashiness and the spectacle of it all, but I want the hard drug addicted shit behind it. I want to see like the mental.
You see, the problem with that is that he was so like secretive about some of that stuff. You know what I mean? He wouldn't allow people to like take pictures or like talk about like stuff. You know what I mean? He was very quite secretive about that. So I don't know if any of that would get made into the film. It'd be nice if they have just subtle references. So you know it's going on. Or like you know what I mean. Someone said something and he's like, "Yeah,
call me sick," but I want to see the tragedy.
Yeah, no, I get that. I want to see what he's like behind closed doors in terms of like when he's alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how he acts, like what he's like. You know what I mean? Like how his creative mind worked, or like for instance how his downfall when he learnt about getting AIDS and stuff and keeping it like secret, and like just his downfall.
I get that.
It'd be nice to like actually know what happened.
Yeah, I think I don't have as much faith in these movies where these kind of things.
No, it's obviously it's
these development hell things happen anymore. Just because I've seen it go bad so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Justice League, but look at Justice League. Like, how that didn't make a profit.
I think it's going to be a bit of a weird film because there's going to be certain aspects that get shown, certain aspects that don't. They're going to fabricate some stuff, you know. It's going to be one of them ones, but I still think it'll be a good film.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's going to be good, definitely. Well, yeah. So those are our picks so far. Let's go into our actual thing about which is our favourite.
Okay.
So I'm going to start this off. I'm going to do. Should we do our top 3?
Yeah. Let's go with 3.
Okay. All right. So in number 3 for me is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm just excited to open up that world, really.
Understandable. A lot of stuff goes on in that.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be... I don't know if it's necessarily going to be amazing, but it's going to go into a whole unexplored world.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Show people to like a whole load of new stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see Spider-Man. I think it's very likely. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Number 2 is Venom.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't know how much faith I have in it again. I'm taking some gambles here, but I love the character of Venom, and I think Tom Hardy's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
So, and I think Woody Harrelson is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So that's going up there. And then my last pick is X-Men Dark Phoenix, so I can finally see this shitty franchise done.
Yeah, fair.
And rebooted properly. No, it's actually not. I'm joking. I can't actually say that, but God, I can't wait for that to be over. No, it's got to be the big one.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
Time to see the shit hit the fan.
It's just going to be amazing.
With 6 stones in hand. Oh man, Thanos is going to munch.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm very, very, very excited, and the hype is only going to grow. Marvel are only going to keep pumping out that stuff, and yeah, can't wait for that. That's me done.
Okay, so okay, I've actually got a tie for 3 between Deadpool 2 and Venom. And I'm equally excited for both because I think they're both just going to be really good films, like introduce people to like stuff they haven't seen before. Like the characters are just going to like, I don't know, propel the studios to new heights. It's going to be good.
I feel that.
I think the second one, I'm actually going to have to say Infinity War. Now, normally that would be the first. However, I think, I don't know, I like you said, it's just, there's so much going on, like, I'm really excited for it, but there's one film that I would literally push children away, like, out of the queue, like, by the face, like, onto the ground, and just nonchalantly walk into the cinema, and just, like, take a seat right in the centre. Incredibles 2. Like, honestly,
I understand that completely.
Like, I love that film. I've probably watched it to the point where I could like quote the whole film like as it's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it will be one of the underdogs that will actually just like take storm.
Yeah, I really, really want it to be a great film. I think it will be. I have faith. I think, yeah, we'll probably go release day for that. I'm sure we'll have to do a midnight showing. The best Fantastic Four movie ever made. The Incredibles.
Yeah, really is.
So yeah,
that says a lot.
I respect your list. But yeah, so this has been the first podcast we've done.
Yeah.
I've been Calamity Hatcher.
I've been That Guy Gseph.
And yeah. Thank you for checking this out. I guess we're going to have to do more of these. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, we'll keep coming at you with some more nerd culture, gossip stuff. I don't know what you want to call it. But yeah, thank you for checking it out. And please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that everyone says at the end of every one of these things. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you soon.